Skai Jackson pregnant by Pookie. Sad. Just sad. Now available in paperback and e-readers. Spellbound, a darker shade of black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. Now available in paperback and Kindle. All About Marilyn. Learn all about the struggles of a faded former teen sitcom star in this absolutely fabulous 5-star screenplay. Get All About Marilyn in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com today. Former child star Skai Jackson announced that she is pregnant with her first child. Now, the 22-year-old actress came out and said that she's expecting to have her first child with her baby daddy or boyfriend, DeAndre Bergen. And as she's talked about having this child with DeAndre Bergen, many are concerned about the father of this child and the impact that this father could have on the child and her overall direction of her life. Now, Skai Jackson basically was on a road to success as a child star and basically started out in 2007 with an independent film, Liberty Kid, and went on to star in many different movies and went on to do voiceover work for series like animated series like Arthur and the Smurfs, and went on to star in the Disney sitcom Jessie, which she got an NAACP Image Award nomination, and also starred in doing voiceover work as she was working on Jessie, and also went out here and reprised the role of Zuri that she is known for in a spin-off series of Jessie known as Bunked. And as she was growing up, she was known for being one of the most influential teens of 2016 in Time magazine and was nominated to be a Best Influencer. However, this decision to have this child with DeAndre Bergen possibly has Skai Jackson on the road to becoming a woman in crisis, like I talk about in my book, The Woman Crisis. And it also possibly has her on the road to becoming to fall into the paradigm of failure that I talk about in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, because it's looking to me like possibly Skai Jackson is following the model for family that she basically learned being raised by her single mother, who wound up with her parents divorcing when she was young. And with her learning this whole dysfunctional model, she's possibly replicating this model, even though she went on to have great success in Hollywood. And as she's gone on to have this great success in Hollywood, she's possibly on this road to becoming a woman in crisis due to the dysfunctional model she saw being raised by her single mother. And that's possibly one of the reasons why she possibly wound up looking to get involved with DeAndre Bergen on a series of dysfunctional terms. Now, as I've stated in previous videos, a lot of times when it comes to women like Skai Jackson, yes, their mothers go out here and groom them to be successful as related to the world of business. Unfortunately, these girls don't really get a good sense of female life skills or female survival skills, and because they don't get a good set of female life skills and survival skills, they oftentimes don't know how to have a relationship with a man. And because they don't know how to have a relationship with a man, what they do is go out here looking for love. And as they go looking for love, they go out here and get involved with toxic men. Now, in the case of Skai Jackson, she's possibly getting involved with a possible Pookie in this DeAndre Bergen. I have to wonder if her reasons for getting involved with DeAndre Bergen basically had to do not with the content of his character, but possibly the color of his skin, because as one of these Honduran / African Americans, she possibly was mesmerized by that light skin, which he thought would cover a multitude of sins and imperfections. And because of this, and her being raised by a single mother, she didn't go out here and do a job of vetting this guy, a guy who, according to some reports, already had children by other women. And this is not somebody you would think you would want to consider for a partner if you're critically thinking, because if a man already has baby mamas, that already gives you an indicator that he's not really going to be a responsible man as related to having a relationship with you. Because if this man can't take care of his own business as related to the woman he's already with, then how can he take care of business with you? Critical question I would like to ask Skai Jackson, who basically possibly got involved with this guy because she was spellbound by that light skin that this guy has, and the fact that she basically looked at this guy basically being a baby daddy and thought that because she wanted to sate her ego as related to female competitiveness, thought she could go out here and basically take this guy away from this other woman. Because when it comes to a lot of women, they think they can go out here and basically look to take a man from another woman. And possibly with Skai Jackson, what she was thinking was because she was a former teen sitcom star and had high social status, that she could go out here and basically take this guy away from the baby mamas. But that really shows how low Skai Jackson's self-esteem was, that she was basically looking to get involved with this guy and get involved with this guy on the terms of, oh, I'm going to try to compete to take this guy from this other woman. And again, this is what many young girls do when they don't have a father in their lives to model manhood for them and show them an example of manhood. Moreover, they don't have a father to go out here and vet this kind of guy to make sure that their daughters don't get involved with this kind of guy, because I doubt this DeAndre Bergen would ever think about getting involved with Skai Jackson if the father was involved in her life, and he would basically possibly go out here and just stay with those baby mamas because he didn't want that smoke from that man asserting his authority. And when the daughter basically saw this man, again, not really fitting up to the standards of her father, she wouldn't even consider this dude. But the whole thing is that because Skai Jackson possibly has these daddy issues, this is why she's out here with this guy. And as she's out here with this guy, she's looking to participate in the paradigm of failure I talk about in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, where a lot of these modern black women look to go out here and find a man who they believe is weaker than they are, and they look to find this man that's weaker than they are because they don't want to submit to the leadership and authority of that man, because they believe that if they submit to the leadership and authority of that man as created by God's order, what will happen is they won't be able to get their needs met. And since they won't be able to get their needs met, what they look to do is find this beta male who basically is looking to submit to women. And as they look for this man who looks to submit to women, they get this guy who doesn't know any sense of his role as a man, doesn't want to take responsibility as a man, is not ready to be a leader as a man. And they look to go out here and choose this man to try to get control over. And one of the ways they look to try to get control over that man is they try to go out here and get pregnant by this man in order to use the baby as leverage, and use the baby as leverage in an effort to control that man. Unfortunately, what Skai Jackson wasn't thinking about is the whole pattern that this man is participating in, because this man already shows that he really is not one that's responsible, because the covert contract he tried to make with the baby mama before really didn't work. Because again, with a lot of women, what they do when they're insecure is they look to go out here and secure the man by going out here and getting pregnant by the man. And they believe if they get pregnant by the man, this will make him want to commit to them. Unfortunately, this is a covert contract that usually does not wind up getting fulfilled, and it usually leads to an unsatisfying relationship for the woman, who usually winds up being completely disappointed, and completely disappointed because they thought this would bring them closer together, but it winds up driving them apart. Because usually when it comes to these type of guys, usually with these kind of guys, all they want to do is get the woman to drop the skid mark jockey draws and then allow themselves to take out the carbon rod out of their boxer briefs and put the carbon rod inside of the atomic waste reactor participate in some nuclear fusion, and then after participating in the nuclear fusion and getting some glow, getting their carbon rod to glow in the dark, these guys basically go out here and bounce. But these women hope to try to tether these guys to them in a codependent relationship, and that's where they wind up becoming deeply disappointed, because all he wanted to do was get the draws, and after getting the draws, brag to his friends about he was able to go up in the guts and bust a few nuts. That's basically what these guys want to do, and that's sadly what Skai Jackson has fallen into. And she's fallen into this whole situation with this Pookie because she did not have that father in her life, to model manhood for her or show her how a woman is supposed to be treated, nor did he have the father to nurture the daughter and give her emotional security, because that's one of the things fathers do, is nurture their daughters and help meet their emotional security, so they're not looking for love from boys because they have seen a man love them and show them true love. I show this in depth in my novel Spellbound with the Matilda Crowley character and her relationship with her father. I also show it with the Colleen Anderson character in my novel The Thetas, because the relationship between a daughter and a father is an essential one to help in their growth and development. But many women don't really understand the importance of having a father in a daughter's life and how it can shape the woman she can become. No, many feminist indoctrinated women believe that because they have a career, this is success, but that's not success at all for a woman. No, success for a woman is, again, being a part of a successful marriage. But sadly, Skai Jackson didn't get to see a successful marriage between her parents because they divorced when she was young. And once they divorced when she was young, sadly, Skai Jackson wound up on the road to possibly becoming this woman in crisis, because just like her mother, who raised her as a single mother, she is on the road to becoming a single mother herself. And as she goes out here, she's going to be going into becoming a part of a generational paradigm of failure. And again, a paradigm of failure because it's not about how much money you make. No, it's about being a part of a family unit. And sadly, Skai Jackson is being a part of a possible dysfunctional family unit, because earlier this year she was arrested as related to a domestic battery situation, as related to things with this relationship in August. And this guy basically wound up in a situation where he was arrested. And this is possibly heading down a road to Skai Jackson going on a state of decline where her career is basically, again, not, it may be successful, but the whole thing is Skai Jackson's personal life possibly is falling apart. Her personal life possibly is falling apart because she's gone from being a woman who was considered to be, again, somebody who people thought was going to be promising and a person who would have influence, to basically going down the road to being like many black girls who grew up in my neighborhood in the South Bronx, who did well in school and were looking like they were on their way to college, but they wound up messing up their entire lives because they wound up getting involved with a Pookie. And as this man basically wound up misleading them, they wound up taking them down the road, basically heading down the road to becoming baby mamas. And as they became baby mamas, they went from being successful women, because in the case of Skai Jackson, here you have a 22-year-old woman who is now having her first child by Pookie, has to deal with all types of situations like domestic disturbances. And again, this is not optically good for her career, similar to what happened with Halle Bailey, where she got out here and looked to, again, take her career from being all at the top to winding up becoming a single mother. And again, I don't knock DDG because he's a young, inexperienced guy. And again, nobody really teaching these children how to have healthy relationships. No one's sitting there teaching these children how to have a healthy relationship with each other, or even understand foundations as related to relationships and marriage. And sadly, what we're seeing here in the case of Skai Jackson is an intergenerational woman winding up on a road to, again, a paradigm of failure. A paradigm of failure because she didn't have that father to, again, be that example of a man in her life, didn't have that father to give her structure, and didn't have that father to teach her what to look for in a man. And as she's gotten, again, pregnant by these dysfunctional terms that many feminists would believe to be perfectly fine, many feminists would sit there and believe it's perfectly fine to go out here and be able to be with a man on your own terms, and again, go out here and have a child out of wedlock. But when you have children out of wedlock, you basically put those children on the road to becoming children in crisis. Children in crisis because, again, they don't have that foundation of a healthy family. And again, many people are concerned for Skai Jackson because they see all of her promise, and that promise basically winding up on a road to not being actualized because she got with a Pookie because she was mesmerized and spellbound by that light skin. And as she got involved with this light skinned guy, she didn't look at the content of his character, just looked at the color of his skin, and got into it with this guy, even though he had children by another person. Again, this guy basically is the Pookie that basically I've seen many black girls lose all of their potential. I mean, I went to school with girls who were, again, doing straight A's in school, doing well in class, get involved with this dude, and then wind up on the road to single motherhood. And as they wind up on the road to single motherhood, they wind up missing out on all of the things that they could have had. I mean, these women could have had great careers and stuff like that, but they messed their lives up. And Skai Jackson possibly is on the road to messing her life up in a similar fashion, and messing her life up in a similar fashion because mom basically, again, wasn't able to work with her husband, and because they weren't able to work together, Skai Jackson is going from being a star to winding up possibly being on a paradigm of failure to become another Hollywood historical woman in crisis. Now, if you want to learn more about what leads to girls winding up on a road to becoming on the paradigm of failure, you can pick up my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Why 70% of Black Women Are Single at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to learn why many girls wind up on this road to becoming dysfunctional, like Skai Jackson, and how it becomes intergenerational, you can pick up my book, The Woman Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Woman Crisis at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to learn more about a faded former teen sitcom star like Skai Jackson is becoming in a story that I basically wrote regarding 1990s teen sitcoms and teen sitcom performers, you can pick up my book All About Marilyn on Amazon.com. And you can pick up the companion book of the TV series that Marilyn starred in, All About Nikki, on Amazon.com as well in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find that book at other online booksellers like Barnes & Noble, Google Play, and Walmart and Target. And if you'd like to see me make more videos talking about celebrities and the things that happen with them, because I have over 25 years of studying the entertainment industry and know the business, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, All About Nikki, a fabulous first season. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meets Clueless in this absolutely fabulous African-American 1990s teen sitcom. Get all 13 episodes of All About Nikki, the fabulous first season, in paperback and e-readers today. Now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Man Crisis, comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today.
Now available for the first time in paperback, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Learn all the reasons why so many black women can't find a husband and why 70% of black women are single. Get your copy of Why 70% of Black Women Are Single on Amazon.com today.
Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.